Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Hold on, am I dumb? I want Narcissu second. I think I like that one. And it's unvoiced. I had to go here. Is it playing audio? Ow! It's playing audio. What the fuck is up? Welcome back to episode 11? 11 of Narcissu. I want y'all to know I have not played this game in the longest. It has been... the last one was 36 minutes. Who the fuck is watching that? Whatever, bro. I'm doing it. I just need to get these done. It's August 17th right now. This is going to go up at like the end of October. I'm just trying to get these done so I can plan out the end of the year at this point. You know what I mean? But whatever. The cicadas screeched loudly. Hot. Even though it was still morning, it felt like midday. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. In that, walking the 3-minute distance, I again was headed towards the hospital. In my hand, the usual tote bag with a pattern of yellow sunflowers on white. Nothing in particular had changed from yesterday. It was just another summer day. What differed was, hidden inside the tote bag, the lunch mother had made for me. "Hey, Setsumi," called from far away. I turned toward a familiar voice. Holy fuck, it's loud still. "What's going on, being in a place like this?" "I've been waiting. I wanted you to help me a bit." With just those words, Himeko-san quickly started walking. Just where was she going? Wherever it wasn't the main entrance, but the rear. Well, not knowing what was happening, I followed along. Okay, here we are. The place we'd come to was the hospital courtyard. Around the small fountain was a clock and many flower beds. While I had been hospitalized, it had been a place I came to numerous times. Is something going on here? Yeah, look over there. What Himeko-san was pointing at was the corner of a flower bed roughly 3 meters square. It was just that even though there was grass and flowers blooming around it, that patch alone had nothing growing in it. And so, ta-da! What's that? Bulbs. Bulbs. I was thinking we'd plant them here now. Proudly, Himeko-san took out a bulb from the plastic bag in her hand and showed me. Counting them up, there seemed to be around 100? Sure, if 2 people were planting, it'd be done in about an hour, but I was worried about something else. It's okay to just go ahead and plant them. Well, this is a patch for winter use after all. What I'm asking about is the just go ahead part. It's fine, it's not like we'll get in trouble. That's actually so funny. Who's gonna yell at the fucking hospice patient? That really didn't feel like much of an explanation, but winter use probably meant those for flowers that bloom in the winter. And I understood that for that reason, now was the time to plant them. But even then, I didn't see how that connected with planting in the hospital's flower beds without permission. Or were the people on the 7th floor permitted this much freedom? Okay, why don't we start? Dig until 10 centimeters and then plant it, alright? When she said that, she handed the bag of bulbs and a small gardening trowel over. Recently, my health had been fine, so this wasn't a problem. But I wonder if it was alright for Himeko-san to work under this blazing sky. I couldn't help but worry about that, with Himeko-san herself was planting with amazing vigor. Dig, dig, dig. Dig, 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 dig. Maybe gardening was a hobby? One might believe that, since her hands moved unnaturally well. Yeah, just lightly cover it with the dirt like that. But once in a while, as I watched and imitated her, she would give instructions. Say, what flower are these? Daffodils. You know of them? Oh, I picked the wrong fucking goddammit. The name at least. Even so, I can only remember that they were white flowers. Having only seen them blooming on TV or in a book, this was the first time I've held a bulb like this. You know, it's quite surprising for them to be around this season. Really? Yeah, normally it'd be around the end of the summer. And then Himeko-san taught me various things. The scientific name was Narcissus, from the family Amaryllidaceae. How could you grow them from seeds? Or how you could grow them from seeds. But since they take a few years to bloom, bulbs are planted instead. How in the deep of winter, when the flowering beds were a lonely place, their single proud blooming form was impressive and beautiful. So, gardening really is your hobby? It's not really a hobby or anything. Then why do you know so much? If I had to say, it was part of the job, I guess. A gardener? A florist? Before, she had said she liked cars. I didn't really understand. I still really didn't know much about Himeko-san. Well, either way, when these bloom, I won't be around. And as always, cheerfully talking about things that make you stop short. What I knew was that she was a resident of the 7th floor, and that the rest of her time was within sight. And paying that no heed, she does these things and was a person who could be called carefree. Okay, since it's more or less done, it's about time we go up to the room. Okay. Together, we carefully washed our hands and headed to the 7th floor. Right in front of us, as we got off the elevator, was a large cart carrying lunch. It was already that time. And so, with Himiko-san's lunch tray in hand, we went back to the room. Normally, when this time came, I'd be heading back home to eat lunch. He said to me, "Want to go to the cafeteria together? It's a lot of trouble to go back to your home, right?" Holding her own tray, Himiko-san made the suggestion. Normally, I would have wound up thinking it over, but today was a bit different. Today, I brought a lunch, so... You brought lunch? Mother made it for me. As I spoke, I took out the lunch box from the tote bag and opened it on the small table near the bed. And the frozen barley tea I brought along was now melted, just right for drinking. Something wrong? Setsumi! Ah, you scared me! Right now, I'm really touched. To think that there would be someone who would bring lunch to such a place? Thank you, thank you. But hey, don't cling. Ahaha, was that a bit over the top? Are they like hugging? And so we began to eat lunch together. Himiko-san got off the bed and we sat in folding chairs next to each other. By the way, Himiko-san's lunch, even though it was the 7th floor, didn't look all that different from the food in the other wards. I wondered if it had been extremely luxurious, but it was what you could call a plain hospital lunch. Compared to that, my lunch, which Mother had put effort into making, spicy fried tofu, lots of croquettes, it was very lively. Himiko-san kept staring. Hey, can I have one? Here. Yay, thanks a lot. She took a bite. Ack, hot! This is a curry croquette. It wasn't supposed to be all that spicy, but Himiko-san drank far too much water. You okay? See, I'm really bad with anything spicy. Unlike her normal image, some tears were in her eyes. She looked pitiful. I decided to tell her what was in them. This is a vegetable croquette. Come again? That's pumpkin. And the one in front is a meat croquette. Wait, just by looking you can tell what's inside? I gave a nod at her words. So, to show the half-believing, half-doubting One-san, I split open the croquettes with my chopsticks. See, I'm right. Wait, how did you know? The outsides look all the same. It's not like they're exactly the same. Well, for me at least, I can't tell them apart. Hey, could it be that you know a lot about croquettes? Not particularly. I didn't think it was all that amazing myself. Basically, from eating them every day, I just learned to pick out the little differences between the outsides. Whew, thanks for the food. Once our meal was finished, I placed the now empty lunchbox once again into the tote bag. Hey, Professor Croquette. Come again? Want to go for an after-meal ice cream, Professor? Could it be that Professor Croquette meant me? Don't go tacking on weird nicknames. Ha ha ha, looks like you don't get it. Beyond the windows that could only open 15 centimeters was the summer sky. The voices of noisily crying cicadas and Himiko-san's bright laughing voice rang out in the narrow room. There, always bright and cheery, was Himiko-san. And just maybe, I too was smiling. Afterwards, we passed the time as usual in the room. When we parted, I was making to leave the 7th floor. A moment. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her. She's got the little... Oh. Turning around, there was an One-san I didn't know. A cute, frilly skirt, red apron, and a rosary on her chest left an impression. Other helpers I've seen before wore the same aprons, so that probably meant this person was also a helper. Did you mean me? This place is supposed to be restricted to people who are involved in relatives. So are you perhaps a family member of someone? For a moment, I thought about how to answer, then slowly opened my mouth. Someone called Himiko's friend. You're a friend? That's what I've been told. Was there... no, it's nothing, excuse me. With those words, the One-san once again went off somewhere. What was that just now? It was probably a helper, but... Around when the sun had completely set and today's dinner was ending. My, you've cleaned it out, didn't you? At the empty lunchbox, Mother looked pleased. Then I'll also make lunch for you starting tomorrow. Thank you. Truth was, Himiko-san had eaten the fries for me, but I wasn't able to reveal that. Yeah, she became known as like the fry gobbler. She can't... The window frame rattled as it slid. Once I opened the window in the room, just a bit of cool night wind came in. My room. By the window, the sailor uniform was drying. The sweltering summer heat made me want to turn the air conditioner on, but when I thought about Father, who still hadn't come home yet, I stopped. Come to think, Himeko-san. In the end, she was really vague about it, but I wonder if planting flowers in the flower bed without permission would cause her any problems. On top of that, the story from before about how she didn't need a helper, and how no one came to visit her was also mysterious. Name, Himeko, Libra, blood type, AB, ID bracelet color was white. I still probably didn't know anything about One-san. Well, time for punishment. What the fuck? Is she getting in trouble for planting flowers? The next day, we ate our lunch in a different place. In a deserted lounge while watching the daytime news. Impersonally playing on the television, we ate. These croquettes sure are good. Today again, Himeko-san seemed to want the dishes in my lunch. I also knew that the hospital food was bad. So on top of the table, my lunch and Himeko-san's hospital meal were spread out and the two of us ate together. Hey, I want a vegetable croquette next. On the right edge. Okay, thanks, Professor Setsumi. I'm not going to tell you anymore. It's a joke, a joke! We made these little exchanges around when today's lunch came to an end. Hey, I've been wondering from before. Is it that you don't like them? As she spoke, she pointed to the fries in the lunchbox. In the end, didn't I also eat all of them myself yesterday? I don't like them. Then why are they in there? How should I answer? I debated a bit, and I decided to tell the truth. Because I'm thought to like them by Mother. Looks like you've got it hard too. Probably, even with just that, my meaning went through. It was like before with the clothes. For some reason, Himeko-san seemed to see through the heart of things. However, the words that Himeko-san spoke next was clearly in a different tone of voice. But that's not kindness, you know? Well, it's probably something you can't understand. If you're trying to be considerate of people, that's a big mistake. Mistake, not kindness. At the very least, those words weren't directed at Mother, but probably towards me. Right and wrong. If it's that, I understand. Even I don't think not saying how I really feel is right. Then, was it that revealing the truth was kindness? To say what Mother had gone through for my sake was something I actually hated? Would that be kindness? Afterward, I was asked to go shopping at the store for Himeko-san. As I left the elevator on the 7th floor, I was again headed to the lounge. In the hallway, just before the lounge, I saw Himeko-san talking to someone. I was sure that person was the helper that had spoken to me the other day. I thought about going up and speaking to them as the two of them spoke, but for some reason, sensing it wasn't that kind of atmosphere, I couldn't help but watch from afar. Look, today's IV drip, you still haven't had it. I know, I said I was going back now. And also, about how you'll be bathing this afternoon? Chihiro, did you think I didn't know? I didn't mean that. So there's no need for unnecessary consideration. Go back to your own assignment. And the unknown One-san left like that. Without a doubt, that was the person who spoke to me the other day. Say, that person just now was just a helper. In answers as you were pushing something aside. To me, from the explanation I heard about the helpers on 7th floor, I thought they were very admirable. And yet, looking at Himeko-san, it didn't seem like she felt that way. Especially with the person just now, I felt she had even been cold. Perhaps seeing that I wanted to say something, Himeko-san entered the lounge before us. And sitting in a sofa, she offered the chair facing her. You see, I was once a helper. Here? So that was someone I knew. That was unexpected. For me, the bright, cheery Himeko-san and the image of a helper just wouldn't connect. At the least, my image of the helpers on the 7th floor was that they were always calm and collected. But, if I thought about it, a part of it did fit. Patients on the 7th floor, unlike patients in the other wards, were, in a way, given freedom. However, even among them, I thought Himeko-san was special. For some reason, it felt as if she were allowed to get away with even more. The questions I had before about planting in the garden without permission, and how she said she didn't need an assigned helper. How she would randomly give friendly nods to doctors and nurses. Surely because she had been a helper before in this hospital, she had probably been allowed more. Say, can I ask one question? Why were you a helper? This time I tried voicing my next question. Even if it were true that Himeko-san had previously been a helper, why would she work as one? I couldn't imagine. At the least, from what I knew about Himeko-san, I thought she would be indifferent to something like volunteering or being a helper. Well, my family's Catholic. Catholic? Yeah, my parents also did it too, but I'd often participate in such public welfare activities. That was an even more unexpected answer. Of course, I myself know absolutely nothing about Christians or religious matters. But even then, compared to the helper just before, I felt that religion was further from my image of Himiko-san. Well, this place, it's a Christian hospital, right? That I know. So, even more so, you see? She spoke as if that were the answer to everything. Certainly, I hadn't really considered it up until now. But now that she mentioned it, I did occasionally see people who looked like priests and sisters. But still, for us normal sick people, there were a few things that we noticed about the kind of hospital it was. Instead of those details, whether there was a specialization in surgery, or whether there would be a famous internist present, from those a hospital would be chosen. However, for the people who worked there, that was probably a huge difference. But, well, from the start, I was a fake Catholic. Really? Yeah, by chance. My house was next to a church, that's all. Himiko-san answered in a usual cheery way, Jesus. Whether those words were truth or a lie, I didn't know. However, just that time, her gaze shifted to the window. In that profile that I couldn't see clearly, I thought there was some denial of those words. But I certainly didn't think I'd come around and be admitted to the 7th floor myself. Maybe I really am being punished. That's wild. That's actually nuts. God really gave her terminal disease. When the long summer day slowly ended. Unusually, Father was home early, so today our family of 3 ate dinner together. Since we moved, his big commute lengthened, and it has been a while since the 3 of us gathered around the dinner table like this. Oh, made a friend? Yes, that's why she's been going out every day. Isn't that great, Setsumi? And by making a friend, Father also became happy. I'm pretty sure that my health had been well lately. Father was even more pleased. Before, the 3 of us would always eat dinner together. But now he comes home late. Mother and I together was normal. There were also times when she would come home late from a part-time job and I would eat alone. That was the norm now. Since that day 3 years ago, days of going in and out of hospitals, Himiko-san said that she herself was being punished. Then, did I also do something wrong and was being punished? So what kind of wrong did I commit? And the one who's being punished, was it myself, or my parents, or perhaps both? Is something wrong, Setsumi? Nothing. The window rattled as it slid. Opening the window, even in such stuffy heat, the night breeze felt nice. There were many things I didn't understand. But if we were being punished, then who was doing the punishing? And if I said I'm sorry to that person, would we be forgiven? I, who would silently eat fries, had also been called unkind. And Himiko-san, for some reason, came close to me. Until now, outside of family, others have done the reverse and avoided me. I'm sure that was true for her also. It was because there was no one else, so it was probably because she was bored. I'm actually going to end it here for now. I'm going to end it here for now just because, we got through 2. I want to do 2 per episode. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye!